Yeah, we're gonna talk most important physical aspect of pool and billiards. We already covered the most vital mental aspect, which is confidence. But how do you gain that confidence when you're struggling with your pool game? We're going to talk about it. It's your stroke. The problem is there's millions of pool players who don't know this or even understand it. So they go looking for help on YouTube. And they find what they think is help, but they're creating more problems. So now they have two problems. Their stroke is whacked, and in order to make a ball, they're using English to make the ball. And now it's just, you can see where this is just a big downward spiral into a lifetime of crap. And they're going to quit. They have to quit. Nobody could deal with doing everything wrong or doing the most basic thing wrong and then trying to fix their pool game through aiming systems and all this other stupid shit. So is it a case of people, YouTubers, capitalizing on just sheer ignorance for the sake of greed? I'm not convinced of that, and every case is a little bit different. But I think it's a case of the blind leading the blind. They're not good pool players, so they don't know what's wrong with their own game. How the hell can they fix anybody else's game? So let's take the case of a brand new kid who's hitting his first ball on his first pool table. What would be your number one step into helping this kid progress as fast as he could progress? And the answer to that is explain why a straight stroke is so vital to his future as a pool player. Explain this, and then get him down on the table or in front of a camera or whatever he has to do to work on getting his pool stroke straight. Once that's done, now you can teach him anything in the world that you want to teach him. But he's never going to progress until he has this vital component of pool right and consistently straight. And you have to explain that he has to maintain it and he has to check it every once in a while to make it sure it's still straight. A straight stroke is not something you learn and then you never have to think about it again. It's like owning a high-powered sports car. Every once in a while it has to be tuned up and the oil has to be changed and the tires have to be changed. You have to maintain your stroke the same exact way. This is why my videos are geared to advanced players. They're not marketed. I never marketed a single video on social media or anything. It's all word of mouth. Yeah, but this is why I don't bother with brand newbies. I don't want to teach a kid or just a brand new player how to make a bridge or stance. And all these videos on stance are completely bogus too. This can of worms just goes on forever. Everybody has a different stance because everybody has a different body structure and muscle mass and center of gravity. Every single human, there is no one way for everybody to stand at the pool table and shoot a shot. There's none. It all depends on your center of gravity, what's comfortable to you, where you're balanced, where your stroke is not going to be all wobbly and whacked. I really don't want to deal with those basic because it was bored the hell out of me. And 2 days after I made the video, it would be outdated anyway. It's if you're a brand new player, this channel is not for you. It's your stroke. Trust me. If you're struggling with your pool game, your stroke is whacked, and you need to fix it and straighten it out, and do whatever you have to do to straighten it out. And then once you have that foundation, everything else should fall in line. If it's not, go watch all my old videos and you'll figure it out. See, that sounds like I'm here advertising or plugging my own crap, and I'm not. But it's just being I don't watch all these other guys much. I don't. You can go to a pro and tell them you'll give them $100 to figure out what you're doing wrong within a half hour. There's people that give lessons on YouTube that are very, very good at what they do. And they ain't making much money at all because all the people really struggling with their games don't go to watch them. They watch posers and fakes, and I hate to call people names. I mean, it's kind of childish. But these guys are really starting to piss me off. And when I see a guy with a terrible stroke getting 250,000 views for a less than 60-second video shot with a cell phone, it's like, what the hell am I doing here? Anybody could post that crap. Anybody. That newbie kid could get on the internet and post instructional videos for pool. Take it or leave it, man. That's pretty much I'm going to say. Get your stroke straight, okay? Now, I started this mess and I'm going to try to finish it, although I have a strong feeling this is never going to be finished. But anyway, we'll get on the topic of aiming later. Set this shot up and shoot it 20 times. Now, if I was there with you, I could look down your stroke and tell you if you're aimed right on this ball, but obviously I'm not. Just take for granted for now that you're aiming right because your instinct will naturally take care of that. Shoot it straight down the middle, nothing but center ball. No top, no bottom, no right, no left. Center ball as you know center ball. If you're not consistently making this shot with center ball 20 times in a row, something is wrong with your pool game. Now analyze where the 9 ball is missing from if you're missing it. If it's going toward the right hand side of the pocket, you're overcutting the cue ball. And that's going to be the case with most of you. If it's going to the left hand side of the pocket, that means you're hitting the 9 ball too full. The question is why, and let's get to the root of the problem. Let's not fix this by putting English on it and deflecting the cue ball to the right path. Because now you're using something wrong to fix something wrong. And now you're going to have two problems, and from there it's going to be a spiral downward. And your pool journey is going to be heartbreaking and tough and frustrating, and you're going to want to quit. If your aim is right and you're overcutting this ball and it's hitting, and the 9 ball is hitting to the right hand side of the pocket, you're unintentionally putting right hand English on this cue ball because your stroke is bad. If you're hitting too full and you're missing it to the left hand side of the pocket, it's because you're unintentionally putting left hand English on it because your stroke is bad. Now, in some rare cases, somebody who's missing this ball has a perfectly straight stroke, and in that case, it's going to be their aim. But this is rare. Usually your aim is good. So the question is, why am I misaiming it? And maybe you have your head tilted, maybe your balance is off. You're going to have to find that in your own basics, and I highly recommend filming yourself. And speaking of that, set up your cell phone right in front of the stroke and act like your camera lens is center of the ball and stroke your cue right up to the camera lens, and you'll see if your stroke is bad. Yeah, now you got to fix it, so let's fix it. Now, take note, all of this would change if we need to gain position, especially if we need to go all the way back up table, but that's not the case with these shots. In the first example, we're playing 9 ball and we're shooting at the 9 ball. In the second example, we're playing 8 ball and we're shooting at the 8 ball. There's nothing to gain position on. And you should learn the basics of shooting straight and making a simple shot before you ever open up the endless can of English worms. And this is what's wrong with today's modern player who gets stuck in rut after rut after rut. They're learning English before they can shoot straight. This isn't new. This is not my idea. I'm not the first person to say this, but I guarantee you every single top level pro will tell you I'm right. Long, straight in, and aim to the heart of the pocket. Now, what you want to pay attention to is where your cue ball is ending up. Whether you make the ball or whether you miss the ball, pay attention to where your cue ball is ending up. If your aim is right and the cue ball is ending up on the right hand side of this gray line, it means you're unintentionally putting left hand English on it because your stroke sucks. If it's ending up on the left hand side of this line, it's because you're unintentionally putting right hand English because your stroke sucks. Pay some kid $10 an hour to set up the object ball 500 times, and when you're making it 500 times in a row, your stroke is straight. Now I'll go back to the original shot and set this up again, and you'll easily make it 20 times in a row. No English, no talking, no aiming systems, no bogus bullshit. And now you have the foundation to progress and find other errors in your pool game, such as position play. I spent the first half of my life learning how to use English, and I spent the second half of my life learning how to never need English. That's not my quote. I overheard that in a pool room named Comer's in Knoxville, Tennessee, probably 40 years ago. And it was said by an old man who might have been quoting someone else, I don't know. But that is what it is, and take it to heart.